So Chris is the head of product and familiarisations at Visit Victoria, formerly Tourism Victoria. And
Right.
a huge help for me personally when I was setting our business up and establishing our business 10 years ago. So if you're not familiar with Victoria, ladies and gentlemen, it's that very small state down in the far southeast corner of Australia. And Chris, would you mind just telling us a little bit about your role, if you don't mind?
Okay, so my role and the role of my team at Visit Victoria is to provide advice to the tourism industry, both those who are new to the industry, new businesses, and those who are established in their business, but they want to take their business to the next level. So we work with businesses that support our brand pillars, and we actually provide those businesses that we see as having the best potential to really help us to achieve our aim of becoming a $36.5 billion business and employing 320,000 people in the state. So our role is very much around helping those businesses to identify who their target markets are most likely to be.
Yep.
We also then will provide them with advice on the priority markets for Visit Victoria, and then provide them with suggestions around appropriate distribution channels for their business.
Great. And for me personally, when we were starting out, when we were setting our business up and trying to get established back in 2007, Visit Victoria was Tourism Victoria back then were immensely helpful in all of those ways. We started our business with no experience in tourism, no experience in business, and pretty much no clue. And one of the things that we did and that I'm very thankful for is that we reached out really quickly to Tourism Victoria for help, assistance, guidance, support, and they really got us on that track to identifying who our customer was and could potentially be, and what we needed to do to our product to make it fit those markets or to be most suitable to those markets. So hugely helpful and supportive when we were starting out. So I just wanted to ask, how does a relatively new or tour or activity operator or an established one that hasn't really worked with trade or with tourism organisations previously, how do they benefit most from working closely with their state tourism organisation?
So I guess that how they can benefit most, I guess, is when they do reach out to us, that they have got a clear plan of what their business is all about and what they want to achieve, and by engaging with us, then we are able to, I guess, steer them in what we, through our knowledge and experience and our insights and partners in the market, what we can actually do to help them to grow their business.
Okay. And what if they don't have a clear plan? What if you see potential in what they're offering? You think that, they have the potential to have a great product, but they're not market ready, they're not international ready. What happens in that situation? Do you...
Well, I mean, I think firstly, I guess that we would advise them to actually, firstly, we've got some online tools that they can use. So on our corporate website, we have some basic tools that they can use, but we would actually recommend to them that they either go away and seek some support to assist them in developing a business plan, or if they feel that they're in a position to do that themselves, then likewise we would say that they really need to invest the time and the energy to actually develop a business plan.
Yeah, okay. And if they do have that plan in place, I mean, I guess a lot of, from what we here out there in tour and activity world, small operators find it a little overwhelming. They they feel that they need to get their pitch just right. But I guess, you differ from, let's say, a travel partner in the sense that you have a real vested interest in helping a tour or activity operator with potential really succeed. I mean, better tourism products, better activities, better tours translates directly into a more robust tourism industry within that state, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, yeah. Do you get a lot of operators that contact you for advice and support and assistance?
We do, yeah. I guess that, from time to time, we find that things seem to come in waves, really, but in terms of businesses, and I guess it will come back to the success of the industry, and I guess that Victoria as a destination has really grown quite rapidly in terms of arrival numbers over the last decade, and so there has been a definite increase in the number of people who are wanting to start business, or perhaps have been operating at a local level but want to take their business to a national and an international level. So, yeah, so we do, find that that there are operators who, come our way. Either they're just starting out in business, or they are wanting to take that next step up.
Yeah. Okay. And for me, Tourism Victoria was immensely helpful. Now Visit Victoria, but immensely helpful in supporting and assisting me. And I know that you can't speak for others, but I would guess that any state tourism organisation out there in the world that has, sufficient resources would be offering the same level of support and guidance and assistance, and have the same motivations as Visit Victoria.
Look, I think that it varies. I can only speak for and I think that there are various levels of support that state tourism organisations are in a position to provide. It kind of comes down to what resources they have. I mean, we've always had a product area within Visit Victoria, and that the development of the industry is something that we are very focused on.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Are there any regular or rookie mistakes that you see with a tour operator or an activity operator that's reaching out to you and they're trying to get their business established and find the success that they're craving?
Yeah, I think, look, some of the key things that we would find is that operators will actually buy if they're a tour operator, for instance, they may well have already invested in the infrastructure. So they may have bought vehicles, they may have already, got all of their licensing, etc., but they actually don't have a plan. Yep. They have little understanding of who their potential markets are. Yep. And make a lot of assumptions about visitors. They may see a lot of visitors around the city, or they may see visitors in destinations and think, wow, this is a real opportunity for me, but they haven't actually done that basic research. And also, so that's the first thing. I would then say, in terms of actually pricing their product as well, that often we find that businesses really, again, haven't costed line by line what the actual cost of running the business is. So what are their operating costs? What are their discretionary costs? And sometimes have spent all of their money on the infrastructure, but then find that they've actually got very little money to invest in marketing, and that's critically important to a business, both when they're starting out but also ongoing, to invest money in marketing.
Great. Well, I guess that leads into my last question, and that is there any advice that you can give, any advice you can offer for a tour or activity operator that's wanting to scale their business and have success in, international and domestic markets?
Mm-hmm. Look, I would say it is actually really very much about doing all of that research about where you anticipate your visitors coming from. What is it, the product? What's your unique selling point from the point of view of making your business stand out from marketplace, and then having a look at what your financial capacity is to scale the business, and are you a risk taker? Have you actually got the capacity and the willingness to actually take a risk if you do want to scale your business up?
Great, very insightful. Chris, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it, and we'll talk again soon.
Pleasure. Okay, thanks, Josh.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye.